Good evening, you're watching Camnet News. Thank you so much for choosing us. My name is Sharon Kalimbula. The top stories on our desk this evening: government urged to investigate the redeployment of CADRES in public facilities. Load shedding to worsen Zambia's poverty levels. The UPND tells citizens to exercise patience amid concerns of high commodity prices. In international news, BURKINABE'S put up demonstrations for sovereignty. And in sports, FAS Morocco signed expanded MOU for football development.
Good news, good news. The rains have started. You need to plan your future. Generational wealth is the way to go. House-grafted avocado plants fruiting within 2 to 3 years for sale at only 90 kwacha each. And ordinary avocados at only 45 kwacha each. Contact us on 0979 753010 or 0962 965 883. We are open from 8 hours to 17 hours, Monday to Friday, at Healing Word Ministries International in Ibex Hill, opposite Hilltop Hospital.
The news in detail. Some Lusaka residents are disappointed over the alleged failure by the Lusaka City Council to properly maintain the footbridge at downtown shopping mall along Kafua Road. The residents are concerned that the bridge is being used as a toilet by street kids and posing serious threats to waterborne diseases such as cholera, which has been confirmed in the country. They have since reminded the local authority to remove the billboards that are creating obstruction to the illicit activities taking place at the bridge. Details in this report.
Open defecation has remained a challenge which the Zambian government has failed to completely end. Surprising enough, open defecation is happening right in the central business district of Lusaka, even at a time when the country is facing a cholera outbreak, as the downtown footbridge remains a toilet under the watch of the Lusaka City Council. The bridge that was constructed to safeguard commuters from being hit by fast-moving vehicles along the Kafua Road has become a scene for criminal activities and serves the interests of advertisers who are equally aiding people defecating on the bridge. The council has failed to remove the billboards despite Camnet TV News and other media houses engaging the local authority several times on the matter, and the people are questioning the relevance of the local authority.
What we expect to be done is maybe if they remove the posters on the sides and then clean it up, I'm sure all this will. This is a health hazard now, as in it's rain season. When it rains there, the water goes down and
one time tunayeserera kairi kuli vafana va mu street nje kambiri vamakwera most of the time nje vamakwera omukhala vaja vakakwera kairi vili covered concept site so vamachitati ngatapwera aze vachikulipowa mina ngamuona kuside ukolo so at the end of the day pwepeze kati ankara paimpata as a toilet.
The Zambian Development Media Alliance, ZAMBIA'S executive president and prisoner of conscience, Derek Singela, also shared his concerns.
So the solution is to remove one of the billboards. Why are the companies that put up these billboards are not cleaning up these premises? Because that's one of the conditions. When you put up a building, it should serve the purpose. It shouldn't become an eyesore. Now you've turned this into an eyesore.
Notably, limited public toilets and inadequate security are among the reasons behind the vices. One can only hope that with the relaunch of the Keep Zambia Clean campaign, sanity can be restored in the central business district of Lusaka. Patrick Soko, Camnet News.
A 12-year-old boy of Freedom Compound in Chilanga district will be going to school for the first time after a charitable organization, Helga Matanda Foundation, assisted him with school essentials. Alex Kalaluka is said to have suffered from epilepsy since birth and has opted to wash cars in order to support his mother. In an interview with Camnet News, the boy explains that despite having the desire to go back to school, the moment he got better, lack of finances pushed him to washing vehicles, which he charges 5 kwacha per car.
It is a dream come true for Alex Kalukaka to finally have a chance to be in a classroom for the first time in his life, after a charitable organization called Helga Matanda Ascom Foundation assisted him with school supplies. The 12-year-old boy of Freedom Compound in Chilanga district has never stepped foot in a classroom. According to his mother, he suffered from epilepsy since birth, but with the help of natural remedies, the boy was able to recover quickly.
Hope yamene yapezeka mu mwana wanga ni hope yameza mfikiza mpaka akapezeke mu office ya sevenza akwani azaka kwanisira naye kunitandizira tini kankale na umwe wabwino maningi pali ponse pamene niyendera ponse ninkacha biwosekerera bonse lezo niganizira kuti nzawe nkala so chabe mavuto yanga bazambo bonka chabe ni wodaba utisenzo ziwa uyu muntu uti azafika hapa.
After his recovery, he decided to look for a job as a car washer within his area in order to assist his mother in providing for the family. Alex says he earns 5 kwacha daily. As most children his age are in class, Alex would only stare and admire from afar. His desire of going to school is now being made possible by the assistance he has received from Helga Matanda Oscom Foundation.
I met Alex at a second car wash here in Chilanga, where he used to do some piece jobs, washing cars. They would wash maybe 10 to 15 cars a day. I got touched. I got very touched, where I approached them. I really wanted to know why Alex is washing cars, where he comes from, what the mother does. Because Alex is only 12 years, and him being 12 years is supposed to be in school. We have donated books, school uniforms, pencils, school bag, so that Alex can go to school tomorrow.
As an organization, we want to supplement government effort. We know the government introduced the free education, which is a very good move, because as you know, education is small. It opens doors to everybody. But quite okay, somebody can say free education, but it's not everything that is for free. You need uniforms, you need books, pencils, and the like.
With tears in his eyes, Alex recalls how his friend would make fun of his condition. Epilepsy is a brain disease where nerve cells don't signal properly, which causes seizures. According to a medical doctor, it is possible for anyone to be cured.
When the patient has been taking medication for about 2 years and not having any feeds in those 2 years, then it's possible for us to start reducing on the medication and observe how the patient responds, and if they are okay even after we remove the medication or remove them from the medication, then we say that they have been cured of the epilepsy.
It is all joy for little Alex as Helga Matanda Ascom Foundation pledges to support him until he completes his secondary school. Miriam Kaimba, reporting for Camnet TV News.
Civil Society for Poverty Reduction has warned that the ongoing 6 hours of load management will worsen Zambia's poverty situation. Data from the World Bank indicates that as of 2015, poverty levels were at 88% in Zambia. CSPR Executive Director Fides Tembatemba notes that all efforts aimed at alleviating poverty are being eroded due to reduced economic activities. Meanwhile, a barberman of Lusaka's Shawama Township, Akim Musukwa, has complained that life has become unbearable due to load management. He says he has not been able to make enough money to make ends meet. But energy expert Johnston Chikwanda notes that a long-lasting solution is through diversification of Zambia's energy sector.
Akim Musukuma, a father of two, lives in Lusaka's John Howard compound in Chawama constituency, earns a living through running a barber shop. He shares that the introduction of 12 hours of load shedding, which has now been reduced to 8 hours by state power utility ZESCO, has come as a devastating New Year gift. He tells this journalist that life has not been the same because he no longer makes as much as he used to before the enforcement of load management, explaining that before load shedding, on a bad day, he could manage to attend to 10 customers, but now he only manages 3 people.
Machine. Yaenda malaiti wakastoma waenda. Nzasenza bwanji zasonga bwanji wana. Navutika. Wana wazadia chani nifungo lipira school fees ya. Kulipe pa wapasa wana. So pa yaenda malaiti mfungo wapelekera pakudi ya wana. Nzawapasa chani malaiti yaenda. Wana wapasa chani. Load shedding yambire pa 2 hours.
This means that he has lost 75% of his income as he explains the difficulty to take care of his family, pay rentals and other utility bills. Civil Society for Poverty Reduction, CSPR Executive Director Fides Tembatemba observes that the current load shedding is undermining efforts to combat the high poverty levels in the country.
And most of them trade in markets, saloons, barber shops, bakeries. And if you look at household level, now the situation is worse because people cannot even do the little economic activities due to power load shedding. And so this is going to, I think, increase the poverty levels in the country. We can tell even from the outcry currently from people.
Low water levels at the Kariba Dam, power station and maintenance works being undertaken by Mamba Collieries are attribution behind the darkness, but one cannot avoid talking about power exports to neighboring countries such as Namibia. According to the Energy Regulation Board, ERB, based on the cost of electricity study, the demand for electricity is said to grow by over 90% from 2,143 megawatts to 4,169 megawatts by 2024, surpassing the current installed generation capacity of 3,634 megawatts. And energy expert Johnston Chikwanda underscores the need for Zambia to diversify the energy mix and increase its electricity tariffs in order to meet the growing demand.
We think we need to bite the bullet as a country, put the tariff where it's supposed to be, and begin to attract investment. Even in renewable energy itself is not as cheap as it sounds. You know, it's not as simple as something you can suck from the fingers. We need to rework the tariffs, and we need to encourage then investment to flow in after doing that, which includes both the traditional generation and also the renewables as well. Otherwise, we have also seen even at how
the debate on addressing the power crisis is complex, as migrating to cost-effective tariffs would require that all economic fundamentals improve, such as the workers' wages, given that more people will still remain off-grid following the increase in the connection fees. Patrick Soko, Camnet News.
United Party for National Development Deputy Secretary General Gertrude Emenda says the country's economy is slowly improving as opposed to what government's critics are alleging that the economy is on its knees. In an interview with Camnet News, Ms. Emenda says significant progress is being made in recovering the country's economy, which she says was damaged by the Patriotic Front. She has bragged that the ruling party has fulfilled most of its promises made within the shortest period. Meanwhile, UPND Alliance member George Sichola says the UPND administration has already fulfilled most of its promises, but has 5 years mandates in which to achieve most of them, hence calling for patience.
There is no question that the cost of living has increased in the past year and that the majority of citizens are hurting. Various stakeholders have also indicated as a fact that the cost of living would have been much worse if the country continued in the same trajectory that it was in August 2021. The high cost of living has also left various stakeholders, especially those in the political field, to blame the current administration for failing to address the situation. According to government critics, the UPND have poorly run the economy. The opposition have also accused the UPND administration of governing the country opposite to its campaign promises.
Turn of 2023, mark my words, you will look towards the Patriotic Front. There's no doubt in my mind. There's no doubt in my mind. You know, even when a marriage is new, everybody looks upon it with glee. They all admire it. But as the members say, after some time, but for you, you are living inside the Inganda, so you can't even see the Mutenge, you will see the cracks in the wall.
But what we got when they got into power is something different, the opposite of it. This is because the New Dawn government did not plan. They spent 23 years bickering, condemning the ruling party without ensuring that they prepare for what they are going to do when they come into power.
The ruling UPND, on the other hand, argue that they have turned around the economy that was run down by the previous administration, the Patriotic Front. The party also continues to brag about some of the fulfillment it has been able to achieve. Further of the economy being stabilized, paving way for a positive market sentiment and more investors' confidence in the country. The UPND party came into office at a time when Zambia's economy was rapidly deteriorating. However, the UPND administration assures citizens of significant progress in the recovery of the economy.
The economy came up from a sick situation, ICU situation. So we're still seeing those ripples taking place. But as we move in, as time goes, with these investment, these things that we are doing in the economy, that the new government is doing, the UPND government is doing in this economy, you start seeing, it will start translating. But there's this time lag. We're still suffering from that, the time lag. Now, what we are putting in place, we will start seeing the results when we, much later. Perhaps at the end of this year or middle of this year, we'll start seeing things moving.
And UPND Alliance partner George Sichola urges citizens to give the party more time.
People that are judging the man based on what they've seen. Okay, of course we have heard people talk about inflation rates, talk about the economy, talk about what. But the most important thing is tying the economy slowly. Is working on the economy slowly. You may not be able to see the results now, but give it time, you see the results come.
Miriam Kaimba, reporting for Camnet TV News.
Network for Young People Against Violence have revealed intentions to formally lodge a complaint on Monday 30th January 2023 against Economic and Equity Party leader Chilufya Tayali to the police for championing hate speech. Addressing the media Sunday, Organization Executive Director Moses Kalonde says tribalism is a cancer that should never be tolerated among the Zambian people. Mr. Kalonde wonders why EPP President would resort to issuing derogatory remarks against the Bemba-speaking people. He says Zambians are looking forward to having politicians who will be able to debate on national matters and not issuing insults on other opponents. Recently, opposition EEP leader Chilufya Tayali condemned the visit by Paramount Chief Mpezeni at Community House, where he was having a meeting with President Hakainde Hichilema.
A chief, be it a senior chief Mpezeni or any other chief, wants to see the president or they have to have a meeting. Are you telling me that such a chief supposed to get permission from Mr. Chilufya Tayali? The chief must go to Mr. Tayali and say, sir, I'm asking for permission to go and see the president. These are the issues we're going to discuss. That is going too far. Moving forward, this will not condone, will not relate, will not accept. Many are the times you have heard people calling politics to be a dirty game. Politics can never be a dirty game. The people who are making it to be dirty are the politicians themselves. They are the ones who are dirtying the game itself of politics. This is a very serious offense of hate speech. What we are going to do as an organization, your guess is as good as mine. We are going to report one Mr. Chilufya Tayali for hate speech. In our statutes, you know very well that it's an offense. Tatwakonkanyepo kuikala fino, ukuba trivio, dionse tulanda pamutundu, dionse tulewonfya, language ya kwebati, easily acceptable, not even media friendly. We can't.
Meanwhile, Economic and Equity Party leader Chilufya Tayali has been charged and arrested for allegedly uttering hate speech. Zambia Police Assistant Public Relations Officer Godfrey Chilavi says the opposition leader's arrest follows a video he posted on social media. In the said video, Mr. Tayali is alleged to have mentioned some traditional chiefs, traditional leaders, and some commanders from the defense and security wings.
Police in Lusaka have arrested Chilufya Tayali, aged 48, of house number 38, Ngwezi Road in Roma Township, for the offense of hate speech, contrary to Section 65 of the Cyber Security and Cybercrime Act number 2 of 2021. This is in a connection with the recent remarks he allegedly made and posted on various social media platforms, where he mentioned some traditional chiefs and some commanders from the defense and security wings. This occurred between January 1 and 29, 2023. In a similar incident, police have apprehended Christopher Kapita, age 54, a taxi driver of Lusaka, for the offense of giving false information to a public officer, contrary to Section 125 of the Penal Code, Chapter 87 of the Laws of Zambia. This occurred on January 29, 2023 in Lusaka. The suspects are detained in police custody, awaiting to be formally charged.
The Southern African Center for Constructive Resolution of Disputes, SACOD, has challenged the United Party for National Development to investigate reports on the redeployment of political party cadres in markets and bus stations. SACOD Executive Director Boniface Chembe says the Ministry of Local Government and Rural Development must update the nation on what he terms as unfortunate development. He says it will be regrettable if cadreism is allowed to thrive, given that President Hakainde Hichilema was voted in by Zambians to, among other things, end the vice. He tells Camnet News that it will be unfortunate provided that the UPND emulates the previous administration by embracing acts of impunity and which undermined the country.
It's important that this issue of complaints around cadreism in markets or bus stations is investigated quite extensively by the ruling UPND to establish whether it is true or not, and if it is true, be in a position to understand how it can be fully addressed. One of the things that the people of Zambia welcomed wholeheartedly and extensively was the announcement that CADRES had been brought to an end on account of the amount of harassment that people had gone through. It is therefore important that if reports that seem to be trickling in the country that CADRES is returning or slowly returning, if you will, we need to have a proper understanding of this and bring it to an end, because people don't want CADRES as it were. So we hope that the ruling UPND will look into this matter, investigate the complaints about its return, and furnish a report to the nation. But beyond finishing the report, ensure that measures are put in place to arrest the vice, if you will. That is the negative vice or aspect of CADRES once and for all.
Patriotic Front presidential hopeful Mutoto Kafwaya has charged that he is well positioned to lead the opposition PF because he has a clean record, unlike some other aspiring candidates. Mr. Kafwaya says he has been a loyal member of the Patriotic Front and understands what it takes to revive the PF and become a formidable opposition political party and make it competitive for 2026 general elections. Mr. Kafwaya says he represents a true rebranding of Zambia's major opposition political party, claiming he is a leader who understands the development needs of the moment and the future.
Experience, my energy, my focus. There's a lot of attributes. I think even though I'm not a youth, but I'm youthful, and my training, all of that, everything put together will just produce a better leader with a better understanding. And my loyalty as well, because I'm very loyal to the Patriotic Front. I am very loyal to the leadership of Patriotic Front. You might want to observe that I don't have any other political affiliation other than the Patriotic Front. I began my active politics in the Patriotic Front, and I have never left Patriotic Front. I have never come back to Patriotic Front. So I am very loyal to the party and very loyal, to leadership. So loyalty, experience, and all of that would certainly set me apart.
You're watching Camnet News. We take a break. Join us after this.
Your skin is the biggest muscle in your body. That's why we make sure that Oracle is #1 when it comes to taking care of your precious skin. Oracle Pure Petroleum Jelly and Glycerin soothes, moisturizes and keeps your skin perfect. Oracle Pure Petroleum products for that perfect skin.
From time immemorial, we have had different types of lighting options, from those that can burn down our investments in minutes to those that dig holes in our pockets due to constant replacement and huge consumption of our ZESCO units. Savenda Electric introduces the new and advanced electric bulb with cutting-edge technology of LED that has low power consumption, gives out bright white light, and lasts up to 25,000 hours. Savenda Electric manufactures all types of LED light, like plastic LED fluorescent tubes, down lights, ceiling lights, outdoor fittings, and solar street lights made to customer specifications. Let's live on the bright side of life by choosing the wide range of Savenda electric lighting solutions that are available in all leading stores and supermarkets countrywide. For orders, call 0962 642 490 or email jnbunda@savenda.com or pchabula@savenda.com.
For immediate coverage of any breaking or latest news in Zambia and around the world on Camnet Television, call the numbers on your screen. Camnet Television, bringing to your screens fair news, impartial news, credible and reliable news all the time. Get the whole truth on Camnet World News. Television, not just another channel.
Welcome back. Thank you for staying on. The National Union of Public and Private Educators of Zambia, UPND, has expressed worry that load shedding will affect the teaching of certain subjects such as information communications technology in schools. In an interview, UPND's General Secretary Nelson Mwale says load shedding undermines the attainment of quality education by the year 2030. Mr. Mwale says the education sector is concerned about the impact of pupils, especially those in rural areas who may not have other alternatives of energy.
The issue of load shedding has been a source of concern, especially that we are in a quest to achieve quality education. We have specifications of subjects that may suffer, especially ICT. Remember that not all schools can afford a genset, and especially in the rural areas where a number of schools, depending mainly possibly on the national grid, we may have a challenge in achieving quality education, especially in ICT. And so we are calling upon government to ensure that solutions are found, whether they will be through the donor community or whether they will be through public-private partnership, so that we have solar system in a number of these schools. Otherwise, where we are now, it's a source of concern. Even as we preach, in advocacy for quality education, we may fail to achieve the objective of the Sustainable Development Goal number 4, where we are talking about the attainment of quality education. So basically speaking, those are our source of concerns, and we are sure, we are optimistic that our listening government will look at those issues.
Zambia Institute of Southern Africa MISA National Director Austin Kayanda has noted the need for government to commence the distribution of personal protective equipment for journalists as COVID-19 cases start increasing. In an interview, Mr. Kayanda says this will ensure that media personnel are protected from COVID-19 as they discharge their duty to keep the country informed. He says in order to appreciate the work of the media, who are considered the frontline workers, it is essential for them to be protected from the deadly pandemic.
Media houses to disseminate, because that's their corporate social responsibility. And in turn, we looked around and found some money which we distributed to all the radio stations. What our concern is that we need the protective clothing and equipment for our journalists, which we did last year. We got a lot of donations. And also, what we are encouraging journalists is to go beyond the red card. Don't just wait for advertisement. We have a lot of cause floating. A lot of people would like to give us money, but people don't apply for those money. As MISA, we distribute all the calls. Almost every month I receive a minimum of 3 calls, and people have benefited. So let's look beyond the red card. Because when there's COVID, definitely everything goes to sleep. But we should look for an alternative source of income.
Sioma Town Council, in collaboration with the Ministry of Health Department responsible for inspections, has seized a variety of expired assorted goods and medicines within the district. Sioma Town Council Health Inspector Chishala Mutamba has warned shop owners and traders to desist from selling expired food items and medicines to the consumers or risk being prosecuted. Speaking during the inspection of goods and license of shops in the district, Mr. Mutamba says traders and shop owners in the district have the responsibility to sell goods and food items that are fit for human consumption. He says it has been discovered that the majority of consumers in the district lack knowledge of the effects of consuming expired products. He says a number of consumers take time to check the expiry date of the goods and food items they buy, and this pose as a risk factor.
Conducted inspection of various food items, and from the findings we have discovered that a number of food products that are on the shelves in the shops are expired, drinks and the other foodstuffs. And I advise and also warning to those traders that are in the habit of selling expired products that once we find them, we shall pounce on them, the law shall take its course. And also they should make sure that they do not just do that in fear of the law, but also protecting the health of the people, the consumers themselves. So putting in measures that will ensure that we prevent the district from experiencing the outbreak of cholera as well. So we'll be taking inspection of premises, door-to-door inspections, to ensure and educate people that they have all the necessary sanitary facilities that will help them prevent the occurrence of the outbreak.
You're still watching Camnet News. We take a break. When we return, we have sports and international news. Stay with us.
Good news, good news. The rains have started. You need to plan your future. Generation wealth is the way to go. Has grafted avocado plants fruiting within 2 to 3 years for sale at only 90 kwacha each, and ordinary avocados at only 45 kwacha each. Contact us on 0979 753010 or 0962 965 883. We are open from 8 hours to 17 hours, Monday to Friday, at Healing Word Ministries International in Ibex Hill, opposite Hilltop Hospital.
Welcome back in international news. With anti-France feelings running high in many of its former colonies in the West Africa, Paris is being forced to retreat ever further from the increasing unstable region and rethink its presence, experts say. After a ruling junta in Mali forced French troops out last year, the army officers running neighboring Burkina Faso followed suit this week, asking Paris to empty its garrison in the next month. Here is a roundup of international news.
Several thousand people demonstrated in Ouagadougou for the sovereignty of Burkina Faso in support of the junta in power a few days after the confirmation of the departure of French forces from the country by the end of January. France said Wednesday last week it will withdraw its contingent of hundreds of troops stationed in Burkina Faso within a month after the junta ruling the Sahel country demanded the pullout. Let them know the time has come. We are 18-year-old and we are adults and vaccinated. We have understood who we are, what we have and what we can do. We decided to take our destiny in hand, and it is not the international community or anyone else who will stop us. Burkina Faso has followed a similar course to neighboring Mali, falling out with Paris after a military coup brought a junta to power and the French presence became increasingly unpopular among the public. The three presidents, the Malian president, the Burkinabe president, General Ibrahim Traoré, Marshal Assimi, General Mamadou Doumbouya, they are these three worthy sons today who are making all Africa proud, not only from Africa, but all over the world where the people are oppressed. So we encourage them, we stay behind them, and I encourage the people of Burkina Faso, not only the youth, but the old, the young, the women, and the children, to make the sacred union around the President Ibrahim Traoré, so that this transition is a success for Burkina Faso to be a totally independent country. Jihadist activity continues in the region while concern grows over the increasing influence of Russia, in particular through the presence of mercenaries from the Wagner group run by an ally of President Vladimir Putin. Italian energy giant Eni signed an $8 billion gas deal with Libya's state-run National Oil Corporation as Prime Minister Giorgia Meloni held talks with Libyan interim Prime Minister Abdelhamid Dbeibah in Tripoli to discuss energy and migration. During this visit, a gas investment deal of $8 billion was signed between the National Oil Corporation and our important partner Italy's Eni. Libya and its former colonial power Italy are key trade partners, particularly in energy, where Italian giant Eni plays a major role in tapping into Africa's largest known oil reserves. This visit demonstrates that Libya is a priority for Italy. It is a priority for the stability of the Mediterranean. It is a priority for Italian security. It is a priority also for some of the great challenges that Europe faces in this time, such as the energy crisis. According to Libya, that $8 million will be invested in 2 fields, and it is expected to produce over 850 million cubic meters of gas. Meloni visited Algeria on Monday seeking supply deals from Africa's top gas exporters to help reduce reliance on Russia after it invaded Ukraine last year.
We go straight into sports news. The Football Association of Zambia and the Royal Football Federation of Morocco have renewed their football development agreement on a 2-year period. FAS President Andrew Kamanga and his Moroccan counterpart, Fawzi Lekaja, sealed the deal in Rabat. Part of the agreement in the MOU are anchored on promoting cooperation between the two federations on football development. Part of the immediate benefits from the agreed will be the opportunity for 3 Zambian coaches to undergo the coveted 4-year CAF Pro license training in Rabat. Morocco will also remain open to hosting Zambian national teams for international camps under the MOU. Vice President Andrew Kamanga says Morocco had proved a worthy partner for Zambia, and this can be seen with the preparatory camps various national teams have had in the past. Prior to the WAFCON tournament, the Copper Queens had an international camp in Morocco, while the Chipolopolo similarly had an international camp during the preparations for the Qatar 2022 FIFA World Cup qualifiers. Well, that brings us to the end of our news. The headlines once again. Government urged to investigate the redeployment of CADRES in public facilities. Load shedding to worsen Zambia's poverty levels. The United Party for National Development tells citizens to exercise patience amid concerns of high commodity prices. In international news, BURKINABE'S put up demonstrations for sovereignty. And in sports, Football Association of Zambia and Morocco signed expanded MOU for football development. We look at the Camnet verse of the day, and it's coming from Matthew 16, verse 26, and it reads, What good will it be for a man if he gains the whole world, yet forfeits his soul? Or what can a man give in exchange for his soul? Thank you so much for watching Camnet TV. My name is Sharon Kalimula. Good night and keep watching.